Hey, what's happening? Liswa Mutupi here. Welcome back on my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be looking at the Bitcoin markets. We'll be seeing what has been going on since the last time we saw it. Some of the trades that we actually caught, because we caught a beautiful buy position, and as well what I'm looking for in terms of the next possible movements. So what this video is going to help you out with is understanding how you can place those Bitcoin trades, but not only that, how you can as well be able to predict or analyze the Bitcoin market for the next week, 3 weeks, months, and even a few months ahead, just so you are able to know, even for those Bitcoin holders, if now is the right time to still continue holding those coins, or if you should be selling those coins. But we will be looking exactly at that. I've got my beautiful screen in front of me, which I will be uncovering or unpacking all the setups that I have here for you. The best thing that you can do in order to get the most and best value out of this is to as well just when you're done speaking about this, go back on the Bitcoin market, try to analyze and see the things the same way that I'm seeing it. Not exactly the same way, but maybe some scenarios and setups. And if you are seeing something different, obviously, then if you've got some evidence to back it up, then that is a beautiful thing. So we are now going to be starting, just so I do not waste a lot of time on just the intro. As well, just comment below what the topics that you as well want me to unpack or cover in terms of this specific topic, and I'll make sure that I help you out with that, because my journey or my purpose is actually to help your journey be a bit more easier and simpler, just so you're able to achieve those goals a bit more quicker. So as well, what you can do for me is to kindly just like if you happen to find value, as well subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so whenever I upload videos, you will be the very first person that will be updated, and you can as well share those videos with a loved one or someone that's close to you that you know would love to watch these videos that I talk about. So looking at Bitcoin currently, let me just start off first with our 1 day daily time frame right here. So what I'm looking at is price has been very bearish for the past few weeks, to be honest. Price has been shooting downwards here, correction downwards, correction downwards, and now in this corrective phase. So it's either there's two scenarios: maybe price would still continue this bearish movement, go down, boom, all the way down, or maybe price can just start picking up and then gaining some bullish momentum. But the only way that we can be able to see that is what actually happens in this 4-hour time frame. So far what I have here is this 4-hour pattern, and this pattern, to be honest guys, I know most of you guys wouldn't want to hear this, but it's a bearish pattern, so which means that it eventually pushes to the downside. So let's say, for instance, what I'm seeing this being our first touch, this being our second touches, and this being our third touch. So obviously at the third touch we had this engulfing candle, and now we're looking at price continue going maybe downwards. But with this, by how we caught it, was maybe price pushing upwards, giving us that double top scenario, and then maybe going back to the downside. Once we get here, we will maybe see if price can still push down, break out, or if it doesn't, we'll just see how it reacts here, so that maybe we can get that buy to the upside now. So speaking about that, let me just go all the way down to the 60-minute time frame. You guys know how addicted I am to the markets and charts and everything. So yeah, let's get to it. 60-minute time frame. How we saw our buy at first is when price came back down, it started retesting this area, this support area that we had here. And as soon as I saw this candlestick, this undecided candlestick, let me zoom in on it just so you see what I look for when I look for signals. When I see this undecided candlestick, that's when I placed my buy position right here. My stop loss just below the low. You can simply see how I put my stop loss just below these two lows right here. So even if it decides to make some wicks, let's say for instance, if I moved my stop loss to somewhere here, I was now going to be out. Price was now going to hit me out on stop loss. But the fact that I moved it a bit lower somewhere here, it played out, it went down. I was on drawdown, I was losing money for a while, but it still shot up. I was in profit. I went down to a negative, then now you can see I'm in profits. But the lucky thing that I love about now is that I was able to lock in my profits. So what I done is that I moved my stop loss to this area up until this area. So let's just go on to my platform just so you're able to see the trade that I'm actually talking about. This is the exact same trade, BTCUSD. You can simply see right here, and how we bought this was literally right here, bought it here, and as soon as we bought it here, price started playing around, and then eventually now we've been able to get those profits. So this is where I caught it. It went up, it went down, it went up, but eventually now after it went up here, that's when I managed to have locked in maximum profits. So what I can do is that I can still push it up, maybe lock in as many as possible, even though I know that currently I'm running at a young profit here. You can see close to $70, but where we at now, one thing that I like is that this is just me breaking down or showing you this trade that is actually a live trade that we executed. But where we're going, or what we're actually trying to achieve, is looking at here where we are. Price is now at the resistance, because there's this first section that rejected, second section rejected, now third touch rejected. So I can either maybe try to log in as many maximum profits as possible. So if he decides to go back down, I don't lose capital. I instead even happen to make more capital, which is what I am now going to be doing. I can maybe push price somewhere around these levels. Okay, it's still updating. Yeah, somewhere around these. I think maybe an area that I can be comfortable with could be somewhere around these levels, $23,200. That's a level whereby I'm comfortable with. So let me just put it 23,200. Yeah, it's exactly, yeah, this is where I have my stop loss. Meaning that if price happens to go down, it will take me out on profits. But if it does continue to go up, I'll be able to secure at least 3.9% on the single trade. So now the purpose is not to show you how much you're making or how the trade is going, because obviously it's a profitable trade regardless if it goes against us or with us. But what's actually going to happen for the next few days. So what I'm seeing is now being at the resistance. The other price can just start pushing down here and then going a bit more to the downside, on which for you to start looking for sells, I would highly suggest you wait for price to break below here and then retest, find some sort of resistance. And once you've got that resistance, that's when you'll be able to literally just get that back push, sell, and then go a bit more to the downside with it. That's one of the ways that you'd be able to catch a sell with what we have now from the markets. But one of the reasons, one other method that we can also go about this is maybe price does respect, you know, it plays around here, plays around, then boom, it goes up, boom, it goes up, it hits take profit. How it gets there, it what actually matters. How it gets there, we are now going to be able to see what are we looking for. Are we still looking for more buys, or are we now starting to sell because of prices now at double top areas? Is price going to start pushing downwards? What are the buyers, the sellers saying? Are the bearish actually taking more momentum compared to the buyers? And those are some of the things that we are going to be learning. But for most of you guys that are loving these setups, that are loving to know more about Bitcoin, obviously just comment so I see how many of you are interested in this topic. But the most important thing about this is, I know most people will just have Bitcoins and hold them maybe for investment purposes, but at the same time you have opportunities to be able to trade them. Like for me, for instance, I've got Bitcoins that I'm holding, and I doubt that I'll sell them for like anything anytime soon, because I highly believe Bitcoin is going to gain value the next few months up until years. But what I can do is that I can still be able to invest in those intraday movements. I can still be able to trade it. So wherever it goes down or it goes up, I'm able to make a profit from it. And fortunately, thanks to platforms such as Delta Exchange, I'm able to execute those trades. I'm able to make those trades on this platform, on which I highly believe you should as well take advantage of them while they offer such lucrative or better spreads, and they are like offering these services that they are to us. I think the most important thing that you can do is literally to take advantage of them now, on which I'll just leave the link in the description box, just so you are able to start with them. And as well, you can deposit any amount that you're comfortable with, just so you are seeing if this actually does work out for you. Test out the different leverages, test out different execution styles and stuff, and see if it's something that you can work with. And if it is, then obviously it means that you can now start scaling. And when you're scaling, obviously we will be scaling together. And I think it's very important of us to be on the same journey, because if we are on the same journey, then we are able to grow much more quicker together and better. And that's something that I love. So at the same time, guys, if you happen to find value from this video, what you can do for me is to comment, tell me what you loved about it, comment below some of the topics that you also want me to uncover. And also what you can do is to like this video, like this video, subscribe, and as well share with the people that you believe would want or would be able to get a lot of information from this video. So I will see you on the next YouTube video.